Hey y'all, this is Andrea here at VW Family Farm, and I want to share with you guys today a couple things that I wish someone had told me a long time ago. These are things I've learned through homesteading, and ultimately not only homesteading but filming a lot of our homesteading and putting that out on YouTube and social media. But these are also just things I've learned in life and that I think could benefit you as well. Maybe this is just me documenting some of my thoughts, but here goes. First one, and this is a big one. I wish someone had shared this with me when my kids were little bitty and when we were just trying to make ends meet and having to put groceries on a credit card until Ben got paid the next time, and just in those early years. And that is, it doesn't have to be that way. There are so many ways people are making additional income these days. And if you're like us, we chose for me to be a stay-at-home mom. And when we did that, we knew that we would have to stick to a budget, but we also thought on Ben's income that we could pay the bills. Now that didn't always pan out. Things came up that we weren't expecting and all these things. But if you're like us and you've made that decision, and you should, in all reality, be able to pay your bills on that one income, anything additional you make is just gonna ease that burden, and it's gonna make your life a bit more doable, if you will. And so I'm not telling you that you should go start a YouTube channel. That has helped us. We've never, struck it rich on YouTube or making videos or, filming. But it did give us a little bit of extra income to do farm projects, because homesteading was something we were already doing when we started the YouTube channel. We didn't start a YouTube channel and then become homesteaders because we were trying to film it. So that was something that we were already trying to do. And so YouTube just gave us a little bit of income to keep putting into little tiny projects that just kept snowballing. That is probably, in fact, that's not for everyone. Not everyone even wants to be out there on social media and things. I get that. I probably, if it wasn't for how this thing has grown and just I see the joy that it has brought to our lives, I tend to be the same way, go to the back 40 and stick to myself, kind of be a loner. So I get that. But there's so many other things, and you just need to think of things you're already interested in. I know people making a good living off making bread. Women that started baking bread while their kids were napping, and that just turned into people love homemade bread. And so that's something, just making soaps and lotions, and I mean, there's so many things. Maybe you don't want to shoot videos, but you love like technology and you love video editing. Maybe you could edit for other people. There's a business for that, helping them do their marketing on social media. People make a really good living at that. There's so many things. And so that's the first thing. I just really wish someone had sat me down and said, just because you're not gonna, sorry guys, it's so windy out here, but I wish someone had sat me down and said, just because you're not gonna commit to an 8-to-5 job and you want to be there and you don't want your kids in daycare, you want to be the one with them every day, there's still so many things you could do to bring in some income and ease up the burden. And so that's just something I want to encourage all of you, is you can do something, but you need to think about what that something is before you dive into it. Don't feel like there's no way out and that you're never going to have any more money than you do now, because there's so many things that you are good at and that other people would love if you offered that to them as well. understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying if you're living on one income and you're a stay-at-home mom that you're not doing enough. That's not it at all. I am just saying I wish I had known how much opportunity there is to make income that I just never even considered. And so I have taught my kids to hustle, to work hard. I look back at my younger years and laziness was a part of it. And again, I'm not saying that if you're living on one income, you're lazy. I'm talking about myself here. And there's lots of hardworking people who are not being paid for the things they're doing, but they are still super hard workers. But I have taught my kids it's okay to take, you know, a non-traditional path, but you're gonna have to work at whatever you do. And I'm seeing that already pay off in their lives. They both have several part-time jobs. Neither one could, you know, pay their bills and do the things they want to do with not working, or just with working, you know, a little job here and there. They both work. They work several part-time jobs each, and they take care of their responsibilities at the farm and in any classes that they're in and all those things. And I think part of that is just because I have instilled in them, you know, to hustle and work hard and try to make good use of your time. Are they perfect? Absolutely not. But I'd like to think they don't necessarily have to do the things that I've taught them, but they know how to do them. And so if they find themselves, you know, where ends aren't meeting, they'll know some things to do to, you know, fix that situation or get on the right track. So I just don't ever want to be lazy again, I guess. And so I kind of go, probably lean a little bit in the other direction a little too much, and sometimes I have to tell myself and Ben and the kids have to tell me, like, hey, we've done enough for today. That's enough. Because being a hard worker, I pride myself on that, and I know that that is part of why I don't have to put groceries on a credit card anymore. And so I guess I don't want to go back to that. Second thing is realize that no matter what you do or what part of life you're in, that control is out of your hands. That has been a hard lesson to learn for me. I had dreams when we started this of Lane and Emily having a career here and just having this really successful, thriving farm business, whatever that looked like, and us just all four being together and working together from here on out and all those things. And that was simply out of my control. That just wasn't, it's not in the cards right now, and I've had to give up control and just accept the fact that it may never be. This farm, homestead, slash YouTube channel, slash meat business, all the things that are kind of intertwined to make VW Family Farm what it is, it's just not there to be able to support, you know, multiple families the way that I would want Lane and Emily to be able to live. I don't want them to always have to struggle and to, you know, just be barely living above poverty just for me to continue to have control and to be able to plan everything out. And so I would just encourage you, realize that your future or your dream or whatever the case may be, it may not look exactly like you've had in your head, and you have to be flexible, because what is up ahead for you, it may be better. And if you were able to get your way and have it exactly the way you planned it, you may be missing out on something great. And in my case, Lane is not going to be a farmer at this time, but he has just accepted his first position as a youth pastor. And so he has the opportunity to impact teenagers' lives in a positive way for eternity. And so had I got my way, he would have missed out on that. And the same for Emily. She has lots of things in her future that I can't even dream up. And I sure don't want to stand in the way of those. And that is a result because I had to give up control. And so I just encourage you, give up control. That brings me to my third point, and then I'm going to wrap this up. I don't want to make this too long, but things grow in their own time. And so I mentioned that giving up control because our farm had not grown, you know, and was not able to support us all. Our farm is still growing. It's not, you know, growing and like just erupted or anything, but it has been steady growth. And I started out, when I started delivering meat, maybe delivering an order or two, you know, a few times a month. And now I'm delivering consistently every single week. And like yesterday, I delivered 14 orders. That's amazing. But if I had judged it on wanting instant gratification, instant success, I would be seeing it as a failure right now. And instead, I had to shift my mindset and realize that things are not going to grow in my timing. Just because something's not growing or producing or bringing in the amount of income or, you know, whatever the case may be, doesn't mean it's a failure, and it sure doesn't mean you should give up your dream. I know a lot of you out there have emailed, left comments, all kinds of things about your dream, and I've posted videos before about, you know, don't give up. Now's the time to take the next step. And so I just want to say it again. Maybe you tried taking the first step. Maybe you need to, your dream is going to require you to change jobs or to stay where you are. Maybe you need to stay and you're not wanting to. Maybe your dream is going to require you to stretch a little bit and get out of your comfort zone. But I want to take this opportunity and say, do it. Don't wait. Life is too short to miss out. And just because it doesn't take off right away, doesn't mean you should give up your dream. There comes a point where you know something, it's time to give up something. Like I was mentioning, giving up control. But there's also a time, guys, to dig your heels in and say, you know what? This is my dream and I'm willing to work for it. And I don't feel it's time yet to give it up. And giving up control is not the same as giving up a dream. Giving up control just means you're relinquishing and you're saying, I'm going to be at peace no matter what happens. But giving up your dream, it's a completely different thing. And I think for some of you, it's just not time to do that. It's time to renew the fire for that dream, whatever that is, and dig your heels in. Because living and working on this farm was my dream, and it's coming true. And I just want to stress to you what I just said. It was my dream. But that doesn't mean it was my kid's dream. Thankfully, it's Ben and I's, both of our dreams. So we have that shared and in common. So we're both working towards the same goal. But just because your dream is not someone else's doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile and that you shouldn't keep pursuing it. So I just want to encourage you to keep going. I hope if you got anything out of this video, it's that you can do this. It may not look exactly how you thought. It may require some hard work and some blood, sweat, and tears. But don't give up. Only way to for sure fail is to quit. Thanks for watching. God bless. One thing I want to insert in here real quick, because I don't want you guys to miss it, is Greenstalk is having a really, really good sale. And I never know when these sales are going to come up again, so I don't want you to miss out. I actually have 3 Greenstalks. You may be wondering why I'm putting these gloves on. But it's because dirt is one thing that dries my hands out worse than anything else. I know it's kind of weird, but it does. So I'm wearing some gloves. I need some good gardening gloves, but hey, this is what I got and it's what's gonna work. So I love this green color. They've also got some really, really awesome colors on this special. I really like, there's this rustic red one. Y'all need to check that out. They've also got a frost cover. This rooster is really wanting to talk to y'all. They've got a frost cover that I just got my first one, and I'm gonna try it out this fall. So you can plant some fall crops, and then when it gets close to your first frost date, maybe some of you are already there, you can cover it with this frost blanket. And I have high hopes for that. So anyway, I'm gonna get these beautified, and there's a link below for Greenstalks, and you can save some money using our code VWFF.